Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce you to the new OrCam READ, a very small, very compact OCR text-to-speech device. This device is no larger than a marker pen, amazingly small and compact, but quite feature-rich. I'll go through some of the button layout first of all, and features. So at the front of the device there is a camera at the top, and underneath it there's an LED light for illumination, and there's also the laser pointers for the direction aid. On the top of the device there is only 4 buttons on the entire unit. The main button is the capture button, the trigger button at the top there. Directly underneath it there is a textile shaped plus and minus key, and that's mainly for volume controls, although it does have some other features to change settings such as voices, languages, etc. But overall, plus and minus for the volume. Beneath that it does have 4 LEDs which power the actual power bank indicator to give you a rough idea of how much life is left in the battery. Directly beneath that is the power switch stroke standby button, and directly beneath that is the USB power connection cable. There is a lanyard setting within there, so again you do obviously get a lanyard with it, so you can put it around your neck and into a top pocket, etc. And beneath that there is a standard headphone socket. The built-in speaker is beneath that, and there is also, if you can just see it, a blue power light, because obviously the unit is turned on. And that's it in its basic form. So it is see from my hand, it is a very, very small compact device with a lot of features. So like I said, obviously you do get your power brick, USB-C charger, you do get your headphone sockets, so you've got the privacy if you're out and about in the supermarket. And to be honest with you, I tested this last week in Tesco's on a few items, and yeah, nobody was any wiser, but I was able to see and read some of the labels on packets and things like that whilst actually in the supermarket. The way the camera operates is you press and hold the trigger button on the reading material, whatever reading material that you wish. I will try and show on this. It should show up as a red pointer. You press and let go.
After being handed the 4 symbols of authority, the orb, the scepter, the rod of mercy and the royal ring of sapphire and rubies, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr. Geoffrey Fisher, placed St. Edward's crown on her head to complete
the chime at the end is when it finishes speaking, basically, so you always know it's the end of the document when it chimes. Like I mentioned, the further away you hold it, within reason of course, the more text you will get on the page, so to speak. You can change the laser dot, so if you don't want the thicker pointer, you can have a dot with a red border on there, and you can change that by press when you wake the machine up and you press the trigger button. Now instead, again, hopefully you'll be able to see the laser. Let me try and put it on this white background instead, so that maybe we can see it. There we go. So now you have a border with a dot on instead. But again, that's a personal preference. You can have it either way, and it is literally a couple of clicks to go back to the different format. It will read, as I say, any document all the way down to N5, which is the legal limit on text size. So that's N5 where my thumb is now. I'm not expecting anybody to be able to read that, because to be honest with you, I struggle with it myself. But it will certainly allow you to read that. To give you an idea of what else it is, what else it can do, obviously again, well, just happen to have a bottle of whiskey here. So I can turn it around and read the information on the back of it, again by just clicking once on the front, lining it up roughly, let go without any further interaction.
Spearmint and free. DGLD. Wine gloriously smooth. Continuation is unreadable. Is in surely a Glencaneat to enjoy on. SU-110 is copyrighted from 1.
So we could try that again.
It first clean and light. It is sea and juicy on the nose, with sweet pear and melon fruit, spearmint and fresh herbs. The flavour is fruity and floral, raspberry, minty and gloriously smooth with water and lightly sweet, overall with a crisp, drying lemongrass finish. This in short.
And considering that is a very, very light text on a very, very light cream background, it picked it up pretty well. I think the first time it didn't pick up as well. It was, to be honest with you, it was because I wasn't holding it as steady as I may have done. As with most things, obviously it is a handheld device, so you do need to hold it steady enough to take the snapshot. But as you saw there, from actually pressing and releasing the button, it is instantaneous as how quickly it reads it back. So if you feel that it hasn't done it right the first time, you know you're only a second away from repositioning it and trying again, and then you'll know straight away whether the second time it's reading it more accurate on there or not. So as I say, the device size being very, very small and compact is a massive plus, because obviously there is other screen readers out there, but they are much larger devices, more meant for the home. This thing, as I can demonstrate just on my shirt pocket, fits in there quite nicely. Nobody's any wiser that I've got it. Even if I'm walking around a store with it, it doesn't look out of place. It just looks like I'm walking around with a pen, basically. So again, restaurants, scenarios, it would be very, very useful, especially, again, if you want to plug in the headphone socket on that side. It does have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth built into it, so again, if you want to use Bluetooth headphones instead, then you can certainly do that. You can connect it to your home Wi-Fi network in order to receive free firmware updates, which again are very, very useful, because OrCam are obviously already and always improving on the existing technology with fixes, etc. So by having it on the home network, is when you plug the power charger in to recharge the battery, then it will automatically look for a new update, and if there is a new update available, it will download it, and it'll tell you that it's downloading, and it'll tell you the percentage of how much it's downloaded, how much is complete, and so on and so forth. Obviously, with the battery, again, you have the visual representation of battery life, but you also have the audio capability as well, so it'll tell you when it needs charging, it'll tell you when it's fully charged, etc. Like all other battery-powered devices, it will turn itself off to save power. It will go into a standby mode. You can force it to by, again, just pressing on the power button.
Suspending. Press again to shut down.
So if I press it again now,
Shutting down. Please wait.
and again, it takes a few seconds, and you know it's shut down because it'll say, and it always takes a few seconds extra, especially when you're doing a video.
Power off. Bye-bye.
So there, it's completely off now. And again, to turn it back on, quite simply, press the button, keep it in for a second, the light turns orange. Obviously what it's doing now is booting up the software inside. The light goes green, and then you'll get the audio message telling you that it's ready, the firmware version of the software that's installed, and then you'll be ready to go instantly. Okay, so just to recap, you've got a very, very small, compact text-to-speech device, extremely lightweight.
OrCam READ version 9 is ready. battery is 84% charged.
So there we go. It's ready. It's got 84% charged. I find the battery on this is extremely good. Like I said last week, I was using it around a supermarket, not even at 50% charged, and I was using it quite a lot because I really wanted to test it out in various things, and it had no problem doing that, especially when I had the headphone socket plugged in on that side. But it charges in literally no time at all. It'll charge in between like 90 to 120 minutes from low power mode. So price wise, this is retailing at £1,800. It is available now. We are supplying them directly to customers, and as usual, it has a 14-day money-back guarantee and free telephone support for the product via ourselves and via OrCam. And if there's any information or anything I can help you with, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you very much for your time.